to know where are we going to play. Bring it on in. There you go. We have the map ecosystem.
Getting close.
At the bottom, getting real nice and close. Where are we going to go? Well, Clubhouse and Coastline are off. Bank, Villa, Border maybe hasn't been played yet. No, it's gone. So we're going to be going to Consulate.
Okay, so no Border. It is shunned. It is never to be played in the European region for whatever reason. Preference, I suppose. This time it was Empire who got rid of it. It's gone. Done for.
Yeah. It's a good map for both teams.
I think Consulate's going to be interesting for Na'Vi.
Why do you think that, Michael?
Because I think they're a very aggressive team, and I think that they're going to be at home on Consulate. Sorry, what were you trying to say?
Consulate is also one of the best maps, if not the best map now, for Empire that Oregon is out.
Yeah, true. I mean, they have, to be honest, though, I don't feel that way. I feel like we say that about literally every map that they have. Like,
no, I mean, they don't play. They insta-ban Villa like every time.
Right.
They don't, they don't play Border that much. They play it decently well, but their maps, right. I would say it was Oregon and Consulate. Clubhouse came out of nowhere to be one of their strongest maps.
Mm-hmm. But I just,
by the way, it's pretty.
Who's gonna win? I'm just talking about like every map that they play. You know what I mean? Every map that Empire plays, it ends up being, oh, you don't bring Empire to this map.
We've done this before, by the way.
You don't bring them to Clubhouse. You don't bring them to Consulate.
How is it even comfortable?
It's actually really comfortable. Because it just is.
I don't understand you.
See, so the bottom of my rib cage is right on top of my forearm, which is being supported by my elbow, which is on the elbow rest thing for the chair.
The hip bone is connected. And
I don't even use my bicep to support my arm because of the way that my elbow is pinned to the rest by my rib cage. So it's like no work done.
Na'Vi starting on defense, and of course you're going to ban one hard breacher, maybe two, depends on how you want to play this out, but no, it's Habana banned very first from Na'Vi.
No Habana here.
I'd imagine this will probably be Capital.
It's an interesting ban, actually. Habana on Consulate.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
No, I'm sorry. That's not too crazy. I slipped my mind. I forgot. So the reason you ban Habana on Consulate is so that you can play inside of Meeting Hall upstairs. Meeting is pretty much... Well, it's very difficult to play, but it is near impossible to play with Habana on the board because they're going to bring in Thatcher, they're going to EMP any kind of denial you have there, then they're going to open up the wall in the corner that you can play inside of Meeting Hall, and then, well, you get forced out of Meeting Hall. So you ban the Habana, and then what's going to happen? They're going to Thermite, they're going to Maverick it? No, they can't do that. And why? Because the wall is on long desk, and they would expose themselves and die. Capital, Mira, and Echo, the other bands.
Capital you need to take care of so that you can't have somebody possibly play on the garage. You're likely going to bring a Maverick. You're going to cut through it. You can't have any bandit trick. Capital is also very strong. There's a lot of, there's a lot of reasons for why you would do that. I think it's the right call. It's going to be a lobby defense, actually, first, though, for Na'Vi.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Okay.
No 6 picks, really? Okay.
I mean, they're sticking to their guns. They know what they want.
I was like waiting very patiently. Like, what are they gonna?
Defenders, protect your bomb.
What are they gonna do? Nothing? Oh, okay, great. Perfect.
That is. I mean, it's not the crazy. We've seen a lot of rounds where we don't have 6 picks, but it is usually like you try to mix things up. Like, okay, you'll bring a bandit. Oh, we're gonna play bottom floor, and then you 6 pick off the bandit to like a Mozzie or something like that. So that you try and make your opponents think that, oh yeah, they're going bottom floor, we better bring the appropriate operators. But Empire brought the appropriate operators for a bottom floor attack regardless, so shouldn't change anything.
10 seconds to go.
This Mozzie Mute combo comes out in a lot of different maps.
5 seconds remaining.
And I'm not too surprised to see it come out yet again. I mean, you go back and you look at Consulate, one of the very first Pro League matches that I ever casted. I believe it was G2 playing against Beat Genius on Consulate. And G2 utilized Mute on the top floor no matter where they were, essentially to try and stave off drones from coming on in. And of course, Mute can still do that. He hasn't been changed. In fact, he's probably been made stronger by the addition of the SMG-11. But then it also adds Mozzie, who, even if, he's not going to catch any drones, he's going to stop you from going through certain avenues. So there's a lot of different ways to use Mozzie here. He's not going to get that drone, though, as it's Nello to take it down, and he's right now inside of the antechamber. It's going to be the connector between the main lobby and piano, where both of the bomb sites are. Dan on Ash is interesting. You got Joystick on Nomad. He favors Nomad quite a bit. The flexibility that has been brought from Dan onto this team. He's played the Thatcher prior, but it's Scyther now holding that in his hands. They're only going to be bringing the singular hard breacher. There goes Dan, though. He's not going to get too far. Right at the front door, he's gunned down by Nello, and the very first kill of this matchup occurs with a minute in.
Dan of all players. Dan, technically the newest player on Empire, though. He's been here for a relatively long time, considering how short the lifespan of this team is. And he came out swinging. He's such a strong player, such a good fragger, and he's playing on Ashe, no less. So this is definitely not a great early pick there for Empire. Good job there, now.
I mean, we've had Dan and Joystick also bottom frag before, come pretty close to bottom frag, and they still, the team still does well, and that's because Empire's depth is quite large. They got Karzeka as well as Scyther that can do their part, and Shepard as well if required. He's on rappel by the front door, and most of the drone intel on behalf of Empire is being jammed for the time being. Taken admin successfully. There goes maybe some ADS being burned. Who knows? Na'Vi playing very far back. They've now repositioned Kendrew down below as he heads for the circular part of the stairs leading to the basement. Joystick up top just by projector. He's got good control over the copier side and over towards the top of Visa as well. If he wants to push on in, it looks like Empire is going to go for their execute. They've got Zofia with the lifeline in hand. Joystick just narrowly losing a fight. There's two bodies that are presenting themselves inside a connector. He's going to go against the Mozzie of Citizen and see what he can do. He knows that there's a body that's just been knocked down, and around the corner, that's an easy frag for Joystick. 50 HP gone. 30 seconds to go, and it's a 4v4. Joystick still knows there's somebody upstairs. He's going to have to continue to entry on in. Shepard getting the plant down. There's no coverage, but Kendrew and saves are there, and it's all up to Karzeka and Joystick, as the diffuser will not go down successfully. Joystick in major trouble, but a great play around the corner for his second kill. He's going to need to look for more, though, as there's three bodies. He's not going to get through the hatch. Na'Vi take round number 1 in their very first defense.
So somewhat surprising there. Team Empire failing to clear out the top floor. And we've seen this before on Consulate, where the defenders upstairs get pushed back and they have to defend from a different angle than they were hoping to. But this time it was just a complete lockout there. Empire, yeah, they got a pick in connector thanks to Joystick's efforts, but they didn't really establish enough control to deny the plant denial that came out from Na'Vi on the main lobby. The gas canisters were so important there. Nello not only getting the first pick, but also denying the plant. Such an important player there for Na'Vi, and you got to say he was the star of the show, winning that round almost single-handedly. Lots of effort put in, but it was a team effort from Na'Vi overall. And again, the roamers upstairs persisting, huge factor in how that round turned out.
Yeah, they did not shake off at any point. The only person that I think was moved off of their position was Kendrew, who's moved down to spiral stairs. He goes down into the basement, and then he can continue to hold from that position and come back to the site when he needs to, and he's got a clear line of sight to the front door of lobby. And that's exactly what he did. He was there and instrumental in taking out Shepard when the plant went down, leaving Karzeka all on his lonesome, and then Joystick up above. And you know that when it's that late in the round, how are you getting back to site? Well, it's going to be a desperation drop. And you don't need to be the best gunner in the world to watch that one. As you know, one of the most exposed and vulnerable places that anybody can be is when they're dropping. Anyway, you've lost 3 drones as Empire, leaving intel only at 7 drones possible. It's not exactly the best use of this information war that tends to exist between these teams.
Yeah,
there's a Mozzie on the board with a mute as well, so there's a very high likelihood you might even lose more, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. The drone economy, again, a very important thing in high-level siege that is not often talked about, but it's always hard to track. Wow, I wish, because it's definitely something we wanted for a long time, but I wish there was like a drone counter somewhere. That would be so nice to just know what it is the attack has left to work with, because it's such an important factor in how these rounds play out.
That's pivotal, I would say. That's the word I would use to describe it.
Because it's the primary information gathering for the attackers.
Especially when you're a team like Empire, where you don't really do all that much different. You kind of do the same thing every single time. You take the same angles, you take the same fights, you push from the same direction, and you just really kind of hope for the best. And because a team like Empire is so individually skilled and is so well coordinated, the less intel they have, it really puts them at a major disadvantage.
Well, this cross might be caught off, and nope, it will not. Karzeka missed shots there, but it was a very difficult one to make, so you can't blame him for that. Citizen, though, will not miss his shots, and Dan goes down. The first pick 2 rounds in a row on Ash again. It's unfortunate for Team Empire.
Yeah, Dan not being particularly effective through 2 rounds is a blow to Empire, but not just that, you got 90 seconds in a 4v5, and there goes another drone for Empire, who might be struggling now to transition. Now they've got into the building, and we'll just have to face check everything. One thing that you always have to keep in mind about Empire is how talented and proficient they are in taking fights and winning them even with low to minimal intel. So they are never really at a disadvantage. There's Joystick to read Doki like a book, and now Karzeka also has sights over towards Spiral Stairs, over towards Bathroom, and over towards Piano. He's inside of the lobby, and he's primed and ready should anybody come his way. Citizen is the next one on deck. It's going to be Joystick hunting him quite aggressively. They don't have drones, so they're just going to have to go in on their own. And, well, if Joystick chooses wrong, then this might be tough. Oh, there's saves, and now outburst Citizen, but Karzeka's got him, and they'll tie it off as it's 3v3. But now you've got Joystick and Dan removed from the fight, Michael, with only 40 seconds left. Karzeka doing soft destructive work from above as he and Scyther are near each other. Shepard's second exothermic charge will go off, opening safer passage into the site, and allow Empire to push on up. One more breaching charge left for Karzeka should he want to use it. Not a lot of time left should he need to use it, which he will. There goes the last one. He'll patrol from above while he puts a lot of hope and faith in Shepard, as well as Scyther, and Shepard getting frags onto Kendrew. Saves will need to watch his crossing with Nello as the SAS operators will need to move on up. It's a successful plant for Empire. And this will get really tough for Na'Vi, as there you go. It's Shepard and Karzeka to do all of the work. You don't need Joystick, you don't need Dan. You still got good guns for the rest of the players. And it's now 1-1 on an unsuccessful defensive garage down below for Na'Vi.
The way that you write cocktail looks like a smiley face. Look.
It kind of does, actually.
Yeah, because he does his... Because the eye is just...
Loops.
The eye is just 2 dots, and the L, it's like on the rim of the... Right next to the spine of the book, so it kind of curves. So it looks like a smiley face. It's smiling at me right now.
It does. Smile.
Smile, guys. Gotta smile more.
I'm smiling right now.
So Empire, that execution, I mean, it was really standard stuff. They clear out upstairs. They use the vertical play to gain an advantage. They go in for the plant, and done. There was denial in the hands of Na'Vi, but they didn't actually manage to get it down. I'm not sure if they weren't aware that the plant was going down, or if they were completely out of utility, or just felt like they weren't in positions to deny the plant. But post-plant, that scenario seeming... I mean, for most teams, it's unwinnable. Garage plant is really hard to retake on Consulate. So good job to Empire, making that work for them, though it was very close. The time it took Empire to clear out all the way from top to bottom really did go a long way to winning the round, but also it was expensive. And again, that's why it could have easily been a Na'Vi round had they just denied one attempt at a plant. But not the case. So Empire take it, and we have a back and forth, or the beginnings of one. Neither team is going to be able to start getting an early lead.
I think one of the big things for Na'Vi is to be as unpredictable as possible. Empire has that routine that we talk about an awful lot, and as long as Na'Vi can continuously be on the run, evade the guns of Empire, and then be able to land their shots, I mean, that puts them in a really good position. I know some people might see that as very simplistic, and just a hair away from Karzeka being able to put his team up by 1 very early on, as this entry from Empire has been much swifter. It's another garage defense for Na'Vi down below. Navi's investing quite a bit of bodies upstairs on that second floor, as is pretty commonplace. But Empire's doing a lot better at either keeping their drones and roaming with them. It's going to be a tough proposition for Doki to get back to the site. And there he goes. Dan is involved in the opening kill yet again, but this time he's the one who gets it. He's actually quite a ways away. Very well played. Watching all the way into Piano and taking out Doki from action.
It's a pretty standard rotation cutoff here from Dan, and it's working out great so far. It's good to see that Dan is contributing now and that he's on the board officially. For Empire, that's going to be a huge advantage, I would say. And given how the last round played out, you can expect this to be another Empire round, but it's still early yet. They are going to get another kill for free in the closet. Oh, but a little bit of punishment done there. As Citizen is going to down Karzeka, being on 20 HP. Amazing that Citizen got anything out of that. And Joystick's going to get saves as well. So this is absolutely falling apart as Kendrew tries to peek Joystick. What? Nello, the last defender alive. And yeah, he's playing smoke. He's got gas canisters, but he's getting flanked. And he's being pressured from every possible angle. And he's got one on the board. So not a flawless round for Team Empire. But can he find 4 more? The answer is no. Dan gets the last kill, and Empire look even better on that round than last.
I got to admire the way that Joystick plays Nomad. And the reason why I say this is sometimes he'll run the AK with an ACOG, and then other times he'll run the ARX or the ATX or whatever it's called. I don't even remember the exact name of it.
ARX, I believe.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And he'll run it with a hollow. So interesting the ways that he plays it, and I think it's because in this instance, Joystick's main job is to get in close and fast. He's not playing long-range engagements. That's actually in the hands of both Karzeka and Dan, even though Dan's running the hollow on the R4C, because, of course, Ash doesn't have an ACOG on a gun that isn't the G36. That was my thought.
You did the...
I was shaking my pen, Michael.
Okay. It's hard to tell. I thought he did a hand signal from... hand signal. What does that mean? I thought he did a hand signal for me to wait when he was just shaking his pen. It's hard to tell sometimes.
We have very erratic hand gestures. Lots of full body motion. Casting, sometimes it feels like we're doing interpretive dance.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Lots of arms going up when something crazy happens, too. Which is pretty commonplace, this level. But yeah, that last round was much a mirror of the one before it. I guess just say this, it was pretty much the same. The difference was that Dan didn't die early, so it was even more one-sided towards Empire. The basement is not a kind place for Na'Vi.
No, it has not been the play.
And so they will go upstairs for the first time, which is not something you usually say on Consulate on the 4th round. Consulate, a lot of teams prefer to go upstairs first, but Na'Vi seemingly avoided it. It did cost them 2 rounds now. We'll see if it...
What did it cost you? Everything.
Well, I mean, the match isn't over, but I do get that reference.
Bomb located by attackers.
Very proud of myself for that. I don't get many references.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Dan on the upside down rappel here is going to be very difficult to deal with, and you should be able to flush anybody out or have somebody push a defender into his waiting arms. But as you can see, all of the A site is clear for the time being. Empire have opted not to run smokes in any capacity through these 4 rounds now, and that means that getting the double reinforced wall at the other side of long desk is essentially impossible. That's what you talked about with... Actually, did they just get it? Really? No, they got the other wall. Okay.
No.
I was like, there's no way they just got the long desk wall.
So you see Nello and Saves, they're both playing by the bathroom.
I see that.
They can shoot anybody who tries to exothermic that wall from either top yellow or from the bathroom. Easy peek there. Yeah, you could be locked down, but it's definitely an advantage to the defenders, and it's why it's really uncommon to see that wall get opened up, which allows typically somebody to play in meeting if they have like a shield, for example, but there's nobody actually sticking there from Na'Vi.
Yeah, look at how far back and how like receded this defense is. It's like a 50-year-old man's hairline right now with how far the receding has gone back.
Wow,
Na'Vi are, what?
That's mean.
Male pattern baldness affects 70% of men over the age of 50, Michael.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, now you do. It's because you have luscious locks. Anyway, 1 minute in, there goes Karzeka. Down for the count. Na'Vi looking to tie it up as they trail by 1. They still got a couple bodies from Empire outside looking to burst on in. Joystick once again patrolling all by himself. Doki goes for a run out, and while it's Not exactly the best choice as he gets blown to pieces by a Claymore. Joystick still just trying to find somebody. Down goes Scyther. Shepard tries to walk in. Well, it's going to be to his undoing. Citizen is on 1 HP in a dream, and he's gone. Out comes the shot from Joystick on that spiral staircase, where he will continue to put in great work, and he'll be positioned to possibly grab a cross as well. And here comes Dan. He's found so much space. Looking for 2, and Joystick is there as well. And Empire, despite looking like they'd lost it early on, have quite the comeback because Dan, the man, finds his way up yellow stairs and picks up 2 kills for his trouble.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was, okay. So, first 2 rounds, we were saying nobody's going to start running away with this just yet, I suppose. And, well, Empire are starting to run away with it. Those last 3 rounds looked pretty one-sided. That basement attack was where all started kicking off. It was, okay, the first basement attack was pretty close. Empire almost got denied that one. But basement attack number 2, Dan doesn't get picked early, and it's just a landslide in favor of Empire. And then top floor attack, the fact that 2 sites are just not friendly to Na'Vi it's really going to cost them. Now they have pretty much their only safe space is the middle floor, and you just can't rely on that. They get to go to the middle floor here, and I mean, heck, if they lose this round, then this is basically, I mean, the first half is done at that point. That's going to be Empire walking away with it. Even if it turns out to be 4-2, I mean, that's a confident victory there for Empire. Now,
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
If it would be a 4-2, it would probably be off the back of this round. Na'Vi will probably, well, for their sake, hopefully be able to take this one, and that'll put them in a decent position. But where are they going to be able to win other than middle floor is the big question in the air here for Na'Vi. That's
the tough one, right? You got 4 sites on Consulate. You might as well roll the die on Teller's Archives. Very few teams do.
And against Empire, I remember what happened last time that happened.
Yeah, I mean, but Empire's, you know, their entry is always exactly the same. Their push comes from admin side. And I mean, you know how aggressive teams need to contest admin when you're defending Teller's Archives. It might prompt Empire to have to enter from somewhere else. Who knows exactly? Anywho, you see this exact same lineup from Empire that will not change at all. It is actually mystifying how good this team is, given the fact they do the same thing almost every single time. Oh! Karzeka engaging in a fight with Citizen, but it's the fadeaway toss in the Nitro Cell that'll get Karzeka in 2 minutes of Empire being in a 4v5. Expect Joystick to try to pressure up as quickly as he can. I was going to say press up, and then it was like pressure up, and then I just sounded like Sean Connery. Anyway, okay. Saves takes out Scyther, and now it's a 3v5, so things get even worse for Empire. You said that lobby just tends to be the play, and so far, you can see why.
Well, the thing, while there is a man disadvantage here for Empire, they do have the control that they need inside of meeting, and they can turn that control into a main lobby plant later in the round. They also do have a decent amount of this round left to go. There's potential for this to be a clutch from Empire. If there's any team to do it, it would be them. Lots of players stacked up here for potential retake as well. Citizen, though, is going to be dispatched by Dan, top spiral. Looking for more. One in CEO, going to do some damage to Dan, hurting Empire's chances in this round.
That's such a blow for Dan now, and Joystick will have to try to bail him out. He has a drone left in his pocket. He'll pull it out and maybe guide Dan on in. He's very wary of the presence looming over by Yellow Stairs. All of Empire are up top now to clear out these remaining members, and oh, there's a swing around the corner. Doki gets 2 big kills right in a row, and Shepard is the last one left. 1v4. 0v4. Kendra slams the door on Shepard and then knocked over for good measure as Na'Vi are flawless when defending the lobby site, but they've been coming up empty everywhere else.
Okay, but where the heck do they go now is the question, because, well, everywhere else has been very, very unfriendly to Na'Vi, so looks like they're going to go top floor. All right, we'll see how that plays out. That makes sense. Considering the way that Na'Vi have been winning the middle floors, actually mostly done on the top, in that they are able to apply a tremendous amount of pressure to the roam clear that Empire are trying to bring out from admin office to CEO. It's so much pressure, in fact, that Empire give up halfway, stay in projector/meeting, and then just start to transition to their site take. And that is, for some teams, the entire strategy, but it is costing Empire when attacking middle floor. Why? Because they can't plant in meeting when they're attacking middle floor. But on this site, they will be able to plant in meeting. So that's the big difference. Empire only need to take the control that they just took that last round and get a plant. Post-plant, they should be sitting pretty. And you can expect Empire to go for the same A execution that they just ran that last round. Big difference, they don't have any diverted focus like, oh, we need to set up for a late take into site. They're just going to be hitting in from admin straight into the site itself. Well, there are 2 C4s in all likelihood on the side of Na'Vi. One probably on the Mozzie as well as the Valkyrie. But, and that does offer you a lot of potential denial from below, but at the same time, I don't know. Top floor was not kind to Na'Vi, as I'm so keen of saying. It just doesn't seem like they were very much in that round.
Why do they shoot the windows? So you can hear easier. Since people always wonder. Why do the pros shoot the windows? Why do the pros punch holes in walls?
Why do the pros break random things everywhere all the time?
Why do the pros complain on Twitter so much?
Why do the pros X, Y, Z?
Why are they X, Y, Z?
I don't know.
Always wondered.
It's a good question.
Always wondered. Anyway. 30 seconds in, and Kendrew's been overhealed as the clash will come out, and he's going to be keeping his eye on admin as long as he can. Keep in mind, you still got 2 stuns there, one of which has already been utilized. Tristan can run on in, and he'll be slowed down, and of course, Kendra will just continue to back out. Citizen has been winning his engagements with a lot of different players on Empire side of things, and he's going to position himself to possibly do so again.
What?
I don't think that
it
didn't go off, so because of this, Kendrew is going to be able to stay alive, and the best tool that Empire had to be able to take him out were those concussive blasts from the Zofia. Well, they're gone. This is tough now for Empire. You know that if that clash is staying alive until the final 30 seconds of the round, unless it's like a 1v4, you're in pretty good position to continue to win.
That was really weird that the shield didn't get tossed aside there on Kendrew, and that's going to be really advantageous to Na'Vi for sure. He's going to be able to play inside of meeting, where he stands right now. Citizen is set up for a C4 from below. Doki has one himself, but he's going to be playing above. He could late rotate if he needs to, but unlikely given his position.
I think Saves has used 2, if not all 3 of his stim pistols at this point, so the Doc might just be a simple fragging operator with the MP5 and ACOG attached.
Joystick trying to push long. That's not an easy push to make, but it seems like Saves is actually playing on the... Okay, so this is interesting. There's nobody playing on the northwest side of this top floor. Usually you would see someone with an ACOG on that position to hold on to long desk, but no. This time, Na'Vi have given up on it. That is a lot of ground to just give up on. Speaking of, that was a missed opportunity there. Kendrew exposed his flank, and then, oh, that's some miscommunication going on there from Empire. What is Saves doing? Aggressive push, and Scyther will take him down. Karzeka will also put one on Danilo.
It's Empire now with a big opportunity to continue onwards, but Citizen's re-entry and emergence to the site takes down Joystick as it's a 4v2 favoring Team Empire, looking to indisputably win this half. Karzeka's watching the top of Spiral Stairs, which means that it's really all on Doki at this point. And oh no! Karzeka just goes for the vault over, and Citizen gets the kill. Things falling apart, and Nitro Cell goes out. Citizen is down, Shepard is so low on HP, and it's all up to Doki. But there's Dan to save the day, and Empire, despite an embarrassing miss from Karzeka, almost figures it out. Empire will take the first half 4-2.
That was also really scary for a moment because the C4 did fly over the head of the planter. Had it landed on the planter, I'm not sure if there would have been a... I mean, there probably would have been enough time, but it would have been close for sure. That was a missed opportunity from Na'Vi and Empire. 4-2, like you said, indisputably winning the attack half. Now they will get to go to defense. Console, office, meeting room going to be their first site, which is the top floor where we just were. The fact that there was no site comfortable for Na'Vi other than the middle floor was what ended up costing them in the long run there. Interesting to see the way that Empire plays this one out, as I don't imagine we'll see much flexibility on their
composition. And just in the bottom right-hand corner, the showdown packs, I think today is your last chance to get them because the event is gone in like 20 hours, so.
I haven't gotten them, have you?
Partner, if you want to, I have actually. Partner, if you want to look like a cowboy, go right ahead. There's your opportunity.
I want the Twitch one, but none of the others. Empire. 3 reinforcements on long nest. That's curious. A lot of teams do only 2 there. They are going to be playing with the shield and the mute jammer to support the position. So big difference here. Empire playing the high skill position. It's either going to be Shepard or Dan, but they'll be playing the high skill position inside of A behind that shield and meeting. Now, what we saw from Na'Vi were them abandoning this position, as some teams do. Empire not so. It will be Dan, it seems, to play it. It's always going to be one of the SAS operators with the shotgun SMG combination. They make them very versatile here, as well as the C4 or the gas canisters, so you can clear out the balcony. The C4 is a one-time deal. The gas canister, of course, a little bit more prolonged, but allowing that player, the SAS player, in that position to alleviate pressure on balcony themselves, then they can apply their own pressure to top Visa stairs or long desk, depending on what is necessary. It's a common position for a lot of teams. I was surprised that I didn't see Na'Vi bringing it. And Empire, again, it's a hard to play high skill position, but Empire can make it work, I think, and especially Dan. There are a lot of counters you can bring out, and one of those main counters is Capital, which is why Empire banned Capital. It's going to mean that Nello's going to have to land some pretty insane grenades to deal with that spot, but there are ADSs from Jaeger to assist Dan in the in denial of those grenades. No Thatcher being brought is pretty detrimental here for Na'Vi. It means that the ADS will have to be cleared by flashbangs.
I think Doki just missed that air jab. I think it was supposed to go through the floor and instead it hit the metal railing. So there was a very clear intention behind that, as they obviously are very wary of the flank.
A bomb has been located.
That can possibly come up through Visa.
Attackers dropped the
That's a
diffuser.
tough shot for Joystick, but he makes it because, of course, he does. He's crazy. He goes for the run out. He guns down Kendra, and he may be able to get back with nobody there to do much to him. And he bursts on through, and oh! Saves! How does it feel? Joystick out here playing 200 IQ plays, and now he'll look for yet another.
Very clean. You could see even the rotation by the yellow stairs door was prepared in advance by Empire, and Joystick knew exactly what was going to happen. Somebody was going to try and catch him on the rotation, and they're still trying to catch him on the rotation. But meanwhile, on the side take, Karzeka's going to take out Doki at the top of Visa stairs. Citizen trying to deny from below, and he will be unsuccessful. Dan does take 50 HP, but it's a refrag. Well, not a refrag, more a punishment. And okay, yeah, Nello's going to throw the nade in, but it won't land where it needs to. And a flawless round from Empire. I am just... Na'Vi rebuffed at every single turn. Empire very strong on that top floor hold.
Yeah, they just overwhelmed Na'Vi every step of the way. Imagine they will likely go down to garage now. Maybe, yeah, where we go. Right down to the garage and then try to put this one away on lobby. I expect to see something different coming out for Na'Vi here. Keep in mind that Thatcher is not banned, but they're not going to roll with him unless they 6-pick off of him. That's an interesting choice. All right.
Yeah, they didn't bring Thatcher last round. They're not going to bring it this round, and now they're attacking. I mean, unless they 6-pick, like you said. But they are please going to. Yes, there you go. Okay,
that's a wise choice.
Yeah, that was scary for a second. It's probably going to be a basement defense. You need a Thatcher there. Thatcher would have been helpful last round.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Clear out
bombs.
the ADS, allow for the nades to land a little more reliably, but decisions made.
Good choice. Surprised there's no Kaid being brought out. The only denial that you're going to have is going to be a mute, and of course you can't trick that. So Empire's going to concede that wall and likely play far back.
Well,
realistically, they might not even put an EMP down on the door. I mean, they don't even necessarily need to. I mean, they will probably expect a Thatcher to come.
Yeah, I mean, it was 6-picked, but at the same time, you do kind of expect it. And I think there's a lot of useful places you can put the jammers elsewhere, me as well. Well, this one's going to be able to assist in denying the drop. And you got the one by the yellow stairs that's going to cut off drones trying to go up the top yellow stairs. This one for the drone hold by garage.
So they will get the wall.
A little bit of it, yeah. Not the whole thing, but it's likely that the sweet spot in the middle between those jammers will not be found out. So, A little bit of an EMP usage there.
All it's going to take is the one EMP.
Yeah.
And then it's all gone. All your utility is gone at that point, right?
I want to know if you put the yellow stairs jammer on.
It's the one that's over by pipes, yeah?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
pipes.
there it is. Is that it?
No,
No, that's the radio.
He needs to go onto the table that we can't see. And yeah, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he did,
And
okay.
then one catches. You can see on the spectator mode, it catches the drones that go on the stairs above it. So when you're droning right here, it catches that. It's a really handy dandy one. Definitely use it in ranked next time you're up there.
Feel free to take the things you see and apply them to various games that you play yourself.
Yeah. As they are, it's definitely useful tips there.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so you got Doki upstairs with the rest of Na'Vi, and well, what do you see? Basically, it's going to be an admin take yet again. Unsurprisingly, every team is doing this nowadays and have been doing it for quite some time because teams don't contest admin the way they used to.
Yeah, it's dangerous to roam as a defender on the basement upstairs. You can definitely do it. It just is usually going to be droned out and punished. So what you're seeing from Empire is a full default off the top. Just give it to Na'Vi, let them have it. It takes some time to clear it out. You may as well just let them spend that time.
Citizen making calls on yellow stairs and positions to the mute jammers. Jam for the time being, and there you go. All the mutes are gone. Somebody watch this for me as he'll get the second panel. C4 from Dan goes up top, expecting to catch somebody, but no, there's no one there. He's got a nice long angle with those couple bullet holes, and then masking what appears to be maybe looks like a punch hole, but anywho, the C4 was expended a bit early from Dan because it could have possibly had Nello's name on it. There you go. You see the five-sided shape that you have right there, the pentagon, as that's the telltale sign of a nitro cell. Up top, Citizen is also joining Nello as they look around through all these openings. There's plenty of bullets left in the skeleton key if he wants to continue to tear it on up, but you've only got 40 seconds left. So, you're going to have to go in at some point. I mean, everybody's still alive. Look at this patience from Empire, just sitting, waiting so patiently, and they are very far back. We said this was going to happen because of the way the mute was going to be played.
I mean,
But you got this picture arm of smoke. Joystick is there. Takes out Doki. Karzeka guns down Citizen. Na'Vi falling apart at the seams. There's Kendrew also down. And it's a 5v2. Stays very low on HP, and there you go. It's a flawless round. Perfectly done. Empire looking absolutely unstoppable.
So what I wanted to say in the middle of that was just, okay, yeah, Empire nowhere near the site. They had absolute full control of the site. They had evil eyes, they had gas canisters in a position to be tossed anywhere they needed, and they had line of sight onto the garage panel. It was just, the Na'Vi didn't have anything going for them there. Anything at all. Not one thing. Other than I guess the garage being opened up, but that's one of those parts of the strategy that is again treated like a bit of a foregone conclusion. So I don't count that. They needed to get a pick. They needed to get the evil eyes dispatched. They needed to waste some of the gas canisters from the smoke. But why did none of that happen?
Why?
Because the garage panel got opened up later than is necessary. The thermite at the beginning of the round can just go open that panel, cause Empire to glue their eyes to the open panel, start working at the utility beyond the panel. But no, Na'Vi started with an open panel, I think at about minute 20, thereabouts, left in the round. Something like that. Yeah, that was very late. It's unnecessary. Yeah, I understand the thermite is going to drone for your team, that you need to gather information. You're going to drone. But just open the wall first. Let somebody else drone, and then put your drone in a position to assist your team in the second half of the drone phase of your attack strategy, so that you have the garage open, and the people who can work on that are already working on it. You don't have to sweat it. Because Empire are very prepared for you to open the garage, and if you leave it that late, then it will cost you, and it definitely costs Na'Vi. Now we're going to the middle floor. Looks like Na'Vi are going to be committing fully to an admin office take. Pretty standard stuff here. It'll be an admin office into a main lobby take.
Mercilessly, Team Empire have just seemingly beaten Na'Vi at every single step of the way, and I'm actually kind of surprised with how one-sided this has been.
Agreed. Na'Vi are no
inverse of
slouches.
our first match. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Michael. My apologies.
Sorry.
Please continue.
Press F6 to forgive. Don't forget you can do that now.
Thank you. for doing that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Very kind of you.
That's a team kill.
First Lion charge is going to go, and Na'Vi trying to bring the heat as best as they can. They will continue to take ground against Empire because of that one Lion charge. It's going to be spearheaded by Karzeka on defense. Got such a long angle all the way from Yellow Stairs.
Again, Dan is in a really difficult spot, but he is a good operator to make it happen and a good player too as well. This is pretty much the same thing as the top floor hold from Empire, just, you know, you also have to defend the downstairs. And it means you have a lighter presence upstairs. But Dan is doing a great job of holding on to this position. The grenade's going to do a little bit of damage, but not enough to kill him.
Get droned out again just for good measure, and expecting another to drop on in. He'll seek the safety of his deployable shield, with Joystick watching as well. There's one body inside of that admin area, but there's no follow-up grenade. It might have already been used. And Dan is going to drop it right into the waiting arms of Citizen, and they'll freeze them all in place. Beautiful shot from Joystick there. Oh, that's a nice one on Nadoki. Doesn't know if there's anybody out on the balcony or not. Waiting ever so patiently. He's got Shepard just behind him too, with 1 minute left. Match point favoring Empire.
Citizen on Spiral is going to be the playmaker here. He has to do more than just pick off Dan, who retreated late. Now, because Dan fell off of meeting, B is uncontrolled right now by Empire, other than the off-site presence that they have from Evil Eyes and the like. So this is definitely not a situation where Na'Vi can plant just yet, which is why I said Citizen needs to do more. But he's going to get picked off by Scyther, who goes for an aggressive push into the main lobby and gets 2 for himself. Joystick by Visa seems to get 1, and it's just saves. The last player to potentially keep Na'Vi in this, but he's got 4 to find, and it just doesn't look good as he comes down to the last 20 seconds. Joystick inside of meeting, not looking towards long desk, and he doesn't seemingly hear saves, but he will see him eventually, damaging him but not finishing him off. C4 from below, and Empire take this one 7-2.
Still kind of surprised with this map choice, knowing how good Empire is here on Consulate, but I mean, being able to take a map away from one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team at the present moment in Empire, would have been a big feather in your cap. It's not to be, though, for Na'Vi, as what appears to be default skin Joystick carries the day. 7-2 and an absolute walloping. Na'Vi, I would say, not their strongest performance.
No, I think they expected to do better against Empire, given that they took them to Consulate. There was probably a lot of VOD review that went into that one, probably a lot of planning that went into that one. And again, I do think that Na'Vi as a team will excel on Consulate, but just not against Empire, it seems.
There were signs of brilliance that we saw from Na'Vi in a couple of those rounds, even though they didn't all go together, being unpredictable, getting under the skin of Empire, flushing them into positions or flushing them out of positions where you weren't expecting them to be, and then Na'Vi doing very well. But you've also got Na'Vi, a team that is extremely good at gun skill, going up against probably the best team when it comes to gun skill, period.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, I mean, it's the best is debatable, but definitely top 3 in the world.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think the thing that I would focus on most from that match is the fact that Na'Vi didn't seem to have much of a sense of strategy for that map.
Yeah.
The strategy that was being rolled out there by Empire was really solid, standard stuff, nothing crazy, but it was just, you know, well executed. Na'Vi seemed a little bit all over the place.
Well, we have an interview with Joystick ready, so we'll get to pick Empire's brain about the actual matchup. And Joystick, how are you doing? Nice to see you again.
Hello. We are fine again. We won, so it's okay.
That's good. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for coming to the interview. I think that's it. No, I'm kidding. First question for you. Did you think they were going to take you to Consulate? Tends to be your best map. That surprised you?
We was surprised because they banned Cafe. We think they want to play it, but they picked Consulate. I mean, yeah, we play Consulate, and for us it was surprise. We prepare for the Cafe, but yeah, a little bit surprise for us.
Consulate has long been one of your best maps. Now,
yeah.
Teams play you on Consulate a lot. How do you ensure that you are staying as good on that map, given how much you play it?
I don't know, we play it so much and we feel comfortable there, and I don't know. I don't know what to say because we play it so much, and I think it's the most comfortable map for us. So.
Right. Were you expecting Na'Vi to be really aggressive at all times like they have in previous matchups, or given that it went to Consulate, were you expecting them to be maybe a bit more restrained?
I think Consulate is so line map, and they can't be aggressive so much. We think they will go into the admin or office, I don't know, and they will play aggressive there, but they tried only one time with Clash, and it didn't work. So we think they played a lot of aggression, but they didn't.
Perfect. Now, last question, a special question for you, actually, that I was talking about in the actual matchup. Sometimes you play the AK on Nomad, and the other times you'll go with her second weapon with the hollow on it. What difference do you see, and why do you use certain loadouts versus others on different maps? What drives you to do that?
I use the K if 2 or 3 guys can push you, but there I use only the other gun. I don't know how it's called, but only one guy push from Visa all the time, and you have enough bullets for one guy. But if you play more aggressive positions, you need more bullets, and that's why I play AK in some maps.
Yeah, I think it's the ARX, I believe is what it's called. And it's got a much smaller magazine on it, so that makes an awful lot of sense. Perfect. I was just curious because, some people run like the R4C and some people run the G36, and there's various reasons for that, and I just wanted to ask. But anyway, anything to say to the fans, the viewers, etc., after you've picked up your 5th win of the season now?
Love you all, and I hope we will be in Japan.
There you go. You got only 8 more games to go, but you're doing pretty well. You're sitting atop the standings now, waiting to see what LFO does later tonight. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Goodbye.